Hey guys, it's Courtney from Willows Bloom, where we intentionally design our life and business with the cosmos. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to schedule your day according to your astrology chart. And this is super unique to you, so stay tuned. Okay, so this video does require a basic understanding of astrology. And if you don't have a basic understanding, then I recommend watching my astrology basics video, which I will link up above in the cards and then down below. So once you have that foundation settled, you really want to pull up your birth chart and have that handy, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. So when we're talking about our schedule, we want to examine the 6th house. And that's because the 6th house rules our daily routines and our work. So whatever sign that you have there will seriously impact the way that you approach your work and day. And I have really noticed this because I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart, a lot of earth energy. And that means that I really desire structure and stability. And so I'm always trying to be a more organized person. But then I have Pisces in my 6th house, and Pisces hates structure. And I've always wondered, why do I have such a hard time sticking to my schedule? Because if I was a true through and through Capricorn all in my chart, then I would not have any trouble sticking to my schedule. So if you have Capricorn in the 6th house, that means you like schedules. If you have Pisces, that means you struggle with them. So I'm going to go through what each of the signs mean and go ahead and look at your 6th house in order to determine the sign, and then just use that interpretation for yourself. So the very first sign is Aries. If you have Aries in your 6th house, then that means you need to be passionate about what you do. And that's because Aries are really fiery, but they live from the heart. And if you're just not feeling it, then all that fire will kind of go out and you won't have any momentum to back up what you're doing. So you really got to love the work that you do. And you also have to be sure that you're doing vigorous exercise. And that's because the 6th house also rules our health and our body. So if we're not taking care of ourselves in a way that really supports us, then we're not going to have a positive daily routine or positive work. So with Aries, you really want to do intense exercise. They are not the yoga and Pilates type. I'm going to go on a run for 10 miles in one evening type. And I know because I have an Aries friend that's a long distance runner and he just does not stop running. So if that's you, just make sure that you have work that you enjoy, extreme exercise on a daily basis, and then also make sure that you're saving time for hobbies and things on the outside of work that you enjoy. And that's really because you're so passionate, so you can overwork. So just be careful that you are really creating a balance intentionally for yourself. If you have Taurus in the 6th house, then that means you really need to give yourself a defined schedule, but make sure that you have a lot of space in it, because you really want to ensure that you have lots of time to get everything done. And that's because Taurians are quite perfectionist and they can be quite slow. So you don't want to give yourself a deadline where you feel rushed and like you can't do a quality job, because people who have Taurus in the 6th house really want to produce quality work that will last the test of time. And so you want to come at this from the angle of, I'm going to give myself more than enough time so I feel satisfied with what I'm doing. On the other hand, it's really great to spend time in nature because Taurus rules nature, and to really allow yourself to just enjoy a luxurious bubble bath, because Taurians are ruled by Venus, which is a very sensual sign. So exploring the senses in some way within your daily routine will really add so many benefits to your life. If you're a Gemini, well, good luck, Gemini. I'm just kidding. I'm a Gemini, but I do find that Geminis, even if you're hard workers, even if you're smart, they can spread themselves too thin by taking on way too many tasks and multitasking. So if you're a Gemini, my biggest suggestion to you is to first give yourself grace for this tendency, because I used to always give myself a hard time for that. But at the same time, try to really hone it in. And the best way for me that I found is to actually create a schedule and calendar block my time and say, I'm going to work on this at this time and this on that time. And that will give you a more realistic way to visualize how long something takes. And also it will keep things and tasks sort of separate. So you know that I have to be doing this at this time. That means you don't really need to be doing multiple other things as well. Another thing to keep in mind is to have a lot of variety throughout your day. So just try to incorporate things that will keep you on your toes a little bit more. If you have the same repetitive task, really try to break it up because you're gonna go insane by doing that. And then also having communication spread out throughout your day, because Geminis typically love to chat or write, or just some form of communication through your work would really help you, because that will really allow you to express this positive aspect of that sign. Cancer. Cancer rules emotions. So if you have Cancer in the 6th house, then I might say that you should rely on your emotions and your intuition a little bit more when creating your schedule. So really think about how your activities make you feel. If you have to do a certain activity, ask yourself what you want to schedule for right after. For example, if you know that you have a meeting with someone and you feel quite drained after that meeting, then set some white space in your day in order to give yourself some flexibility so you feel good and can rejuvenate those emotions and feel a little bit more positive after that. Also, make sure that you have a lot of time for self-care, because I think in the 6th house, you might feel a little bit run down with your daily to-dos. So if that's the case, just ensure that you have, also a bubble bath, or read a book, or go for a walk, or spend time with your family, because the big thing about Cancer is they love to be at home. So you might even want to work from home. Just make sure if you do work from home that you create a nice work-life balance so that you have enough time for the self-care and then enough time for the work itself. And just remember, if you have Cancer here, that if you feel disturbed by something at work, it might affect you on a deeper emotional level, and that's okay. Just recognize that this is normal for that placement. If you have Leo in the 6th house, that means that you like to have fun within your work. And you might also thrive as being a leader within the workplace. So maybe you can manage other people, or maybe you can just show up in a way that allows you to be admired by other people and respected. So you don't necessarily have to be a manager for people to look up for you and ask for your advice. And any kind of way where you honestly can get that recognition for how good of a job that you do and how much of your heart you're giving to something, the more that you're gonna feel better, because Leos really need to have that recognition in order to thrive. If you can set up some kind of way where you're able to get recognition for the work that you're doing, you're gonna feel so much better, because Leos give so much of their heart and their soul. And if they're not really feeling like the other person is receptive to that or recognizing that, then they can start to feel a little bit dejected. So if that does happen to you within your day-to-day work, just recognize that that's normal, and maybe you need to reward yourself. Can you incorporate that into your schedule where you do something to give yourself a pat on the back every time you have some kind of achievement or do a good job on your daily tasks? Up next, we have Virgo, and Virgo is native to the 6th house. It loves to be here, so this energy flows super nicely here. And if you have Virgo in the 6th, then that means that you're going to be just awesome at your daily tasks, getting things checked off your to-do list, creating schedules, creating a system to get everything done super efficiently. And if you're not experiencing that, then maybe you're really not fully expressing the benefits that you have in this sign, and you can fully step into that over time. So start off by scheduling things, calendar blocking them, and maybe even organizing content in a way where it batches things, because Virgos love to be efficient. So if you can batch or theme your days in a way that allows you to keep doing tasks that are similar to each other, you'll really shave off a lot of time that way by reducing task switching, which will cause a lot of delays within your brain. And makes things just a lot slower. So if you can do that and really stick to your schedule, you'll feel super good. But just be sure to be nice to yourself and not to be overly perfectionistic within your work, because as a Virgo, this could be a tendency for you. So just be mindful of that. Up next, we have Libra, and Libra is all about balance and harmony. But sometimes when they try to create balance and harmony, they try to please everyone and everything, and then they have trouble deciding things. So if you're a Libra, what I want you to do is actually create your schedule and plan up front. So decide with your prefrontal cortex what you're going to be doing for the week ahead, and then actually stick to it. Don't allow yourself to just change and switch things around, because that can lead to more indecisiveness and then it just won't feel good. So decide beforehand and then create a schedule that has lots of balance in it. So maybe you have more intense activities and then more calm activities. Maybe you have some time to walk outside and then have deep focus in your work. Just really try to find a balance within your daily lifestyle. With Scorpio in the 7th house, this will naturally make you a quite intense worker and a very ambitious person. Scorpios are super ambitious. So if this is you, you really need to first ensure that you are invested in what you are doing. You want to actually like it, because you're not going to be as strong of a worker if you're just not feeling it. Another thing that I wanted to suggest is that you have a lot of power within you. That means that you can schedule super long sessions of deep work. So normally people can only do like 1 or 2 hours without kind of like burning out or needing a break. But as a Scorpio, you might even be able to go longer than that. So what I would recommend is to schedule long periods of intense work at a time. And then if you have to do things that you don't enjoy, really try to sandwich it between things that you do enjoy so it doesn't feel so bad. As a Sagittarius within the 6th house, you're really going to have a desire to learn and grow through your work. So you need to first ensure that you're actually being challenged within the workplace. If that's not the case, then maybe you can create challenge for yourself outside of the workplace in the meantime. So can you integrate some learning experiences? Can you learn a new language? Can you spend time studying in the evening? Can you read? Really scheduling white space for learning and having fun, and also any kind of adventure, because Sagittarians love to experience new things, bold things. If there's something that you can do to change up your daily routine and experience new things instead of keep doing the daily humdrum, that is going to make you feel super satisfied. So with Capricorn in the 6th house, you're probably going to love working, and that's totally okay. Just be really mindful that you're creating a balance between your work and your play. And for you, your play might actually kind of feel like you are maybe doing things that are work related, but just try to separate them as much as you can. And since you do love working, take advantage of this by starting off with eating the frog. So do the hardest task at the very beginning of the day, so that way you can just kind of unwind, and by the very end, maybe you can do some things that are more fun for yourself. If you have Aquarius in the 6th house, then you probably are not a fan of schedules, just like Pisces, the next sign. So if that's the case, try to mix things up and have different schedules for different weeks. You don't necessarily have to stick with the same thing, but it is good to have a schedule in order to get tasks done. So try to give yourself that structure, but by having variety and different things to do. Also, it's wonderful to have a new and innovative approach to the way that you go about your day. So a lot of people might just want to wake up at 9 and work till 5 and then go to bed and start all over. But if you have Aquarius in this area of your life, you might actually feel like you want to have a weird approach to your day. Like maybe you want to do your most creative work at midnight. So if that's you, don't try to fit yourself in the box of the normal mold. Just allow yourself to be exactly who you are and try to do the things that you enjoy most. Lastly, we have Pisces. So this is the placement that I have. And let me just say, it is not the most conducive to schedules. But besides that, Pisces really connect most with their work when they feel that there's some kind of sacred, spiritual, or intuitive aspect to their day. So for example, for me, I love to break up my day by pulling tarot cards or oracle cards, going for a walk and listening to podcasts that really inspire me, doing yoga and meditating. So if I don't feel like I'm spiritually aligned with my work, then I can kind of get off track. And so as with Pisces in the 6th house, just rely more on your intuition, how you feel, and the spiritual side of yourself in order to determine your schedule. But still do that with your prefrontal cortex and actually try to stick to it. Even if it's hard, it's still really good for you. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. And please comment down below, what is the sign that's in your 6th house? Because I would absolutely love to know. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that's how you'll get my videos pushed to you each week. Thanks again and have a great day. Bye.